few can do what NVIDIA did, and that is book actual billions in extra revenue on this AI shift. So what do you think? Should investors get ready for some disappointment?
You know, the really interesting thing about NVIDIA is how much risk they took building out this capacity before the AI boom. So I think you're really seeing the upside of that risk pay off. I think the question for all of these companies now, that Microsoft pricing is really interesting. It's experimental pricing. I don't know if it's worth $30. Mm-hmm. The market has to decide, and there's competition. So I think we're all seeing, okay, these products are inherently useful such that we can already put prices on them. People want them. We can charge for them. How much can we charge in an era where there's this much competition? That's going to come all the way back to NVIDIA.
Yeah, I mean, $30 per user per month. Yeah, at the high end, Steve Kovac, $14 billion potentially. But how certain is that? They're not going to be booking this when they report next week.
No, they're not. And look, they don't even have a date on when this is going to be broadly available. Right now, they're only testing that Copilot we're talking about with the Microsoft 365 suite, a very small group of their current enterprise customers. And look, they're not even talking about selling it to schools yet for the very obvious ChatGPT cheating reasons. But there's another thing to look at, too, Deirdre, as we go into Microsoft's earnings next quarter. It's not just about selling these Copilots or other AI tools. It's also a cloud play because, look, Microsoft also, the same day they announced that pricing plan, they announced this deal with Facebook that their large language model, the Llama, the open source one, is going to run on Azure. It's going to run on Windows. And so Microsoft is also saying, our cloud is here for other AI development, open to play. Right. Amazon is trying that as well. Google is trying that as well. But Microsoft is playing it on both sides.
Right. So more opportunity to book some revenue, and that's profit. Rory, by the way, thank you for being with me in studio on Friday. Give me the counterpoint. You operate in the world of venture capital. So you are investing many times before there's even any revenue. You don't want to get these stocks once they've already booked this money, right? Because then the upside is gone. Totally. So how should investors look at it?
Sure. Well, I mean, it depends on where you're investing. I mean, I think, first of all, to talk about the public stocks, I think what NVIDIA is going through is a quantum step different than everyone else. No one else is going to report a 40% increase in Q1Q revenue because of AI. NVIDIA is a monopoly provider of this, the core ingredient that makes all this AI work, the chip that makes the magic happen, right? They're in a wonderful business. Will they be in a wonderful business for the next 37 years to justify the stock price? I don't have a clue, right? But even Microsoft, who probably is the next best positioned large cap company, it's going to be a quantum step different. They're not, as Steve said, they're not going to sell 40% more. They're not going to, they might get a few people trying this Office product, you know, in the next couple of quarters. It's not going to move the needle. What will move the needle is they're a very well-run business.
Okay, so there's NVIDIA, Nilay, there's NVIDIA, and then maybe there's the Microsoft, the Amazons, the Googles that, okay, maybe they're further behind, but let's say they're closer to booking this revenue than the Palantirs, than the C3 AIs, and some of that next level down tech companies. So how does this shape out?
I think that point about NVIDIA being a monopoly provider is really smart. At the end of the day, NVIDIA took the big risk early, and now they're it. They're what you get. You know, we have heard many stories about companies essentially trying to buy their way into monopoly positions. Lyft and Uber come to mind, right? Big venture-backed companies that basically bought themselves into monopolies. How durable those monopolies and profitable those monopolies are, it remains to be seen. NVIDIA knows it. And the big difference between, I think, AI and every other tech bubble that I've ever talked to you about, Deirdre, is everyone knows it's useful. Right? You can charge for this at rates that make sense to consumers, that make sense to businesses, because the productivity gain is there in a way that, I don't know, NFTs or even 5G wasn't there. And I think that piece of the puzzle is still undervalued in the market.
I agree. I think it absolutely is useful. And that is the reason why. I don't think Microsoft are going to get that money this quarter, but eventually they will, because AI is absolutely useful. I mean, the reasons they're going to charge for it. I mean, you were asking, why are people trying to charge? It's, first of all, because you can charge, because it's delivering value, it's replacing labor, it's replacing boring tasks.
Right. It actually causes you to save costs.
Because you save money. And then the second thing is, it costs money to do this, right? All these guys are, you know, leveraging off the expensive NVIDIA chips, the expensive ChatGPT is not free for anyone other than a casual user. All that's going to cost money. So a lot of these AI products are very computationally intensive to deliver. It's not as easy as it looks. You know, the magic under the hood can be quite expensive. And we're definitely seeing that even at the early stages. It costs a lot of money to build these companies. And as you correctly said, the pressure is therefore on to monetize that and get paid.
Show the dollars.
Yeah, no one's going to fund them forever.
Well, Steve Kovac, I mean, yes, everyone's excited about generative AI. It costs a lot of money in terms of that compute power, but we recently got a report that Apple is looking at its own large language model. How do we know that this isn't eventually commoditized? Like a lot of the other bubbles we've talked about. I mean, we were so excited about enterprise software, right? In 2021, they were going public and running up to these huge valuations. How do we know that aspects of generative AI, like these chatbots, aren't going to become commoditized? And Microsoft can't charge $30 per user per month.
I'd argue to a degree it's already commoditized. Just look at my inbox, all the pitches I get for chatbots and ChatGPT clones and so on and so forth. Go in the App Store and type in ChatGPT and you'll get a gazillion different results. But look, when you talk about those magnificent 7, one thing that we got to look about going into this earnings season starting next week is that forward PE ratios, Deirdre, I bet, and how expensive these stocks have gotten. So you set this up really nicely, how we're going into this earnings season where they have to show the money. Well, also, if they don't show the money, we can easily see those stocks come down because of how expensive they've gotten over this AI hype. So has it been commoditized? Maybe a little bit, but look, only a few names are going to actually be able to show. To your point about Apple, look, to me, it sounds like more of a developer tool. I don't think they're going to have some kind of supercharged Siri GPT, or I think the report said something like Apple GPT is what they're calling it internally. I think that's more of a demonstration. Obviously, we also know Apple's going to want to do it in a more private way, on device, which also means less capability, because if you're doing it on a phone, you can't use those NVIDIA chips that are more capable than those mobile processors.
Good point.
This is one of those times where you see a single sentence and you realize it's simply 2 sentences, and it's just totally wrong. Tech earnings are next year. AI monetization happening slowly. The two are utterly disconnected. Stop, people, right? I think,
isn't this the quarter that changes? I mean, that was the case until NVIDIA said, no, it's actually here.
But I'll address that very specifically. What you got to understand is the value chain, how long it takes before end business customers pay money. NVIDIA is going first because they make the chip that allows people to make the models. Then someone's got to make the models. And someone said ChatGPT have made, OpenAI have made the ChatGPT model. It's taken them 2 or 3 years to get to that point. Everyone is furiously trying to catch up. And maybe it gets commoditized, but right now it's still the best, objectively speaking. And there's maybe 5, 6, 7 other people trying to catch up. And the reason NVIDIA is doing so well, all of those companies, including Microsoft, including Facebook, are spending hundreds of $millions in a catch-up game. But there's no revenue.
It's exactly, but that's
and then,
the point.
hang on, and then there's one level further down that, even after you've built a model, then someone's got to wrap it in decent software to sell it to individual businesses. And that's, at scale, 1, 2 years away. So going back to my point, I don't know anything about this quarter's earnings seasons, but it's nothing to do with AI.
Spoken like a true venture capitalist.